What secret conspiracy would you like to start? The vaccines cause autism is perpetrated by Big Pharma in order to have kids get sick more often, so parents are forced to pay them more when said kids get sick. If kids are immunized against diseases, then they won't require treatment for the potential chronic problems diseases cause. But Big Pharma is required by law to make vaccines, even though they don't profit much from them. So they spread the vaccines cause autism lie in order to get more money. This is literally one of the few successful ways to reach a conspiracy theorist. You have to convince them that their initial conspiracy theory was started by some shadow group. They shed their harmful theory and replace it with a pro-social theory, and they maintain their need to believe that nothing is as it seems. What if the earth was actually flat, but some people tied all the ends together to make it round? 9 out of 10 dentists is actually a company Colgate invented so they could boost their sales. The government invented stamps so they could connect DNA with addresses. Airplanes don't actually fly. Governments across the world secretly built invisible roads in the sky for planes to drive around on. Think about it. They've got us right where they want us. How can we prove it if they don't even let us out of the plane once it takes off? The roads on the Bermuda Triangle were poorly planned, and that's why planes get lost when navigating there. The moon is flat. The world really did end in 2012, and we all entered an alternate universe. Being kind lengthens your lifespan. That the government started a large number of anti-intellectual conspiracies to stop civilians from actually understanding the world. Askreddit is actually a government tool to spy on people's ideas and plots. Oxygen is actually poisonous, it just takes 80 years to kill us. Vaccines cure autism. That the anti-vax conspiracy is financed by Russia, Japan, insert big bad of your choice, to weaken the next American generation. 5G microchips. And then instead of spending millions on towers, the telecom companies can use the humans themselves as towers. Melania didn't really test positive for COVID-19. Trump is just telling people that she did to make us all think that they actually touch each other and hang out and stuff. The conspiracy from Rick and Morty that squirrels are secretly running the world. I only say this because I made eye contact with a squirrel yesterday for a very long 30 seconds until I gave up because I got scared. Hitler never committed suicide and actually escaped to South America. There was a time traveler and the present we live in is the best possible outcome he could give us. There is an entire world within our world, but to get to it, you'll have to go toward the North Pole. Though you may find Nazis. Neil Armstrong knew the truth about something in space but was unable to tell it. It's why he did so few interviews. We were actually built by aliens on another world to be adapting worker ants. But because an alien PETA felt sorry for our ancestors, they rescued us and set us free here on Earth. Human cloning has been around for a good while. After the doctor was scrutinized for cloning sheep, he went to Ireland. Here he perfected his skill and would help the rich clone their dead relatives to include children, wives, etc. The World Council has decided that the United States needs as much bad publicity as possible. This will allow them time to take away more rights from citizens in other countries like China, Russia and South America. Keep your eyes on the states and you'll lose what's at stake. When the national panic alert went out for an incoming missile to Hawaii, it was actually real. The missile attack was stopped at the last minute, and the United States swept it under the rug. The CIA had to kill JFK because he was part of the mafia. If the mafia gained too much information, they could leverage the country. Lastly, we have already created our successor to the human race. Just like we were created to be worker ants by aliens, so we have done to computers and robots. Eventually we will die out and they will remain. We were born knowing we would die and not born to believe we would live forever, so we believe it so much eventually it happens. Trump is secretly an Asian woman with extensive movie makeup and prosthetics. The real Donald Trump died shortly after getting the Republican nomination for the presidency. Why replace him with an Asian woman? Him running for president was supposed to be a guerrilla marketing for a new TV show where Trump got elected president and wacky hijinks ensued. But when he won the nomination, they decided they would record the whole process and make a reality TV show of his run for the presidency and launch the mini-series after losing the election. Trump passed away from a massive heart attack at the party after winning the nomination, and the team working on the show was too heavily invested in the show to see it fail. In order to mimic him as closely as possible, they needed someone significantly smaller than him to leave room to build up prosthetics. Then they exaggerated things like the fake orange tan to avoid the uncanny valley look. The woman who worked on the staff for the show was able to do a convincing Trump impression and fit the body size needed to pull this off. They never expected to win the election, but when they did, they were in too deep. Nah, but he did die due to COVID, but to avoid the hoopla, they got a good body double to last through the election. They know Pence doesn't have the charisma to lead the Trump diehards to vote, and if they delay it until after the election, win or lose, they get the Supreme Court nominee through. If not, then the Senate battle becomes appointing the next VP through January, which must be approved by the Senate and would supersede the Supreme Court appointment. There's a loaf of bread on Pluto. Cars really don't need gas to run. Crocodiles are just alligators who need a dentist. 5G equals COVID is made up by proponents and supporters of 5G, so that any actual reasonable debate or proof about safety or health issues is subconsciously linked to the 5G equals COVID idiocy and immediately tainted and discredited by association. That Gordon Ramsay can't actually cook for shit, and that he makes his living by shouting so loud everyone's taste buds get scared and lie. The coronavirus is a zombie plague, but the dead don't rise for 2 years. COVID is mutating into something more uncontrollable. The plastic tips at the ends of shoelaces are called aglets. Their true purpose is sinister. Topically applied fluoride doesn't prevent tooth decay. It does render teeth detectable by spy satellite. There are dinosaurs living inside caves which escape the meteorite by staying underground. Conspiracy theories are actually true and started by the government themselves in order to make the truth seem less plausible. This is actually the third planet we have inhabited. We send our DNA to other planets to grow and prosper in hopes we at some point get it right. The Harry Potter books are actually history books. And magic is real. I'm convinced Burger King is a money laundering front. I've never met anyone who voluntarily eats there. That wearing deodorant automatically sends you to heaven upon death, and you get 72 anime virgins. Birds are government drones. The K-pop band BTS are disguised aliens using their music to build an army of insane 12-year-olds that do everything they say. Donald Trump's youngest son is actually his clone. That the government run Hollywood to make movies, so when people say something about the government or secret stuff, people look at them like you watch too many movies. Global warming is perpetuated by the elite world powers billionaires in order to melt the ice cap over Antarctica so they can mine the gold oil there. Rocks are soft and squishy but tense up when touching them. Tribbles are real. The orange barrels alongside construction zones on the highways are where the US secretly stores its nuclear waste. Everyone has a demo life. The one you are living now is a dream to show you the consequences of your decisions. China pushes blame of all their faults on the US through the EU, so they forget that they are a totalitarian shit state that causes most of the world's problems. The American voting system for elections is just to make us feel as if we have some control. They elect whomever they want and our votes get thrown in the trash. 2021 is the end of time. The rapture actually did happen on the expected date in 2011, but only Macho Man Randy Savage was pure enough to be raptured, and the rest of us are all just left behind. The Hawaii missile scare was actually a real attack that was stopped by a defense system. The progress with North Korea afterward was a result of this. Trump and Pelosi are lovers, have been for decades. He's the father of 2 of her children. There's a photo of the 2 of them on a New Orleans nude beach from a few months ago. There has never been a mass shooting, always crisis actors, there's always a woman in a red shirt. It's all to take guns away. George Floyd is another crisis actor. He's actually a transgender woman who took their wig off for the performance, dresses as a woman. He has been seen at several BLM marches. The cop that killed him is a gay British man that performs on the London Ballet. Tell us what secret conspiracy theory you would like to start. Please share this video with others who enjoy conspiracy theories. Drop a comment, click like and subscribe to be notified when I post a new video. Stay awesome.